And now, our third honorary degree for this morning's commencement speaker. Academy Award-winning filmmaker, multiple Grammy-winning artist, drummer, DJ, producer, director, culinary entrepreneur, New York Times best-selling author, and member of The Roots. Ahmir Questlove Thompson is a visionary, creative force who's elevated the dialogue, curiosity, and representation through artistic expression. The unmistakable heartbeat of Philadelphia, the most influential hip-hop group, The Roots, is that the musical director of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, where the group serves as house band. This six-time Grammy Award-winning musician's indisputable reputation has landed him musical directing positions with everyone from D'Angelo to Jay-Z. As a producer, he has worked with artists including Elvis Costello, Common, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, Bilal, Nikki Costa, Booker T. Jones, Al Green, and the great John Legend. He is one of the producers of the 2015 cast albums of the Broadway musical Hamilton. His 2021 directorial review, Summer of Soul, explored the legendary 1989 Harlem Cultural Festival. The film won the 2022 Academy Award for Best Documentary, among other accolades, to become the highest-selling documentary to come out of Sundance when it was acquired by Searchlight Hulu. Questlove recently directed Sly Lives, also known as The Burden of Black Genius, a kaleidoscopic, genre-bending portrait of Sly Stone that premiered at the 2024 Sundance Film Festival to critical acclaim, including a Critics' Choice Documentary Award nominated for Best Documentary Feature, an NAACP Award nomination for Outstanding Documentary, and a BAFTA nomination for Best Documentary. In early 2025, Questlove co-directed Ladies and Gentlemen, 50 Years of SNL, the feature documentary celebrating the music of the legendary Saturday Night Live. It received Primetime Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Documentary or Nonfiction Special and a Grammy Award nomination for Best Music Film. As a trailblazing artist who is no stranger to innovation and experimentation, Questlove's career evolves the dynamic processes of information, formation, and transformation that distinguishes LMU's whole-person education. In true embodiment of our Catholic Jesuit Marymount mission, Questlove exemplifies commitment to artistic integrity while pursuing the common good, relentlessly dedicating himself to community and creativity. In doing so, he models what we seek to impart to our Lions as they leave the bluff, harnessing their unique talents to meet the world with solidarity, with compassion. For his remarkable achievements, Loyola Marymount University is proud to bestow on Ahmir Thompson the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the state of California and by the trustees of Loyola Marymount University, I now confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining to that degree. Congratulations, LMU Dr. Ahmir Thompson. And graduates, families, and friends, I am thrilled to introduce our commencement speaker, beatmaster, game night architect, curator of culture, and DJ extraordinaire, Questlove. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much.
Remember it.
Thank you. Does this mean I'm Dr. Love now, or? Okay. I want to thank you, President Snyder and President-elect and Provost Poon and Executive Vice President Ray and Chair Viviano. And I want to thank you all for inviting me here to be with you to celebrate Loyola Marymount University's graduating class of 2025. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you. All right. I'm speaking to everyone today, from the students to your proud families, to the faculty and administrators, and even to the folks who are going to fold the chairs when we're all done today. I'm speaking to everybody, because this isn't just for people with frame credentials. This is for anyone who has felt small in a big moment, or too big in a world that wanted you to feel smaller. Now, full discrepancy, when I received this invitation to speak today, my stomach dropped. And most speakers will do the whole, oh, I'm so honored, and tell you how honored they are. Well, I'm telling you, I was terrified. Why? Because you are looking at someone who has turned hiding into a professional sport. I hide behind my drums. I hide behind the drum set. I hide behind the Roots, behind Jimmy Fallon, I'm always the second banana. I'm the most famous second banana. Even behind my primitive exotic hair, that became its own conversation piece. By the way, shout out to the brother who's able to put the cap right there, the afro. Yes, I'm looking at you. Yes. I'm impressed that I couldn't find a cap that fit my head, so you're my hero right now. I want to know how you made that happen. Anyway, I've been collecting Grammys, and there's always a voice in my head that says, well, one day they're going to realize that you don't deserve to be up here. Or even at the Oscars before they read my name, I wasn't rehearsing my thanks. I was mentally listing everyone who would probably resent me if I won, And I basically turned imposter syndrome into like an art installation, and I performed it live for 3 decades. So, why am I up here? Why did I say yes to this when every cell in my body screamed, nah, dog, I'm good? Because the stuff that changes your life is usually buried under your biggest fears. I'll repeat that again. The stuff that changes your life is usually buried under your biggest fears. And most of us sort of tiptoe or sidestep over that treasure our entire lives, never digging deep enough. And you graduates should know what I'm talking about, because basically half of you are here right now, somewhere sitting in between celebrating and having a panic attack. And your diploma says, air quote, qualified, but again, there's that voice in your head that always whispers, one day they're going to find out. Trust me, I get it, I relate to you. And I've experienced that feeling my entire career. You get bigger on billboards while you grow smaller in the mirror. And yes, collecting gold trophies while ducking compliments. I used to hate compliments. And, Wikipedia page expands while your self-worth keeps shrinking. And most commencement speakers will hand out advice like it's like party favors, just change the world, follow your dreams, never give up. Yes, true, but Instead, I want to offer you something more tangible that might help you at, say, tonight at 3 a.m. when you're staring at the ceiling, questioning everything. So I'm going to give you 4 practices, 4 daily habits that I've turned to back in 2020 when everything shut down. You know, when the stages went dark and the studios were closed, and I, a professional hider, juggling 13, 14 different jobs, suddenly I had nowhere to hide. So number 1, gratitude. Gratitude. So I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't grow up practicing daily gratitude. When I was in 9th grade, my parents had to choose between paying for my safe private school or keeping the gas on. And school won. So for 3 straight years, we lived without heat or hot water. How you feel right now is like a typical morning in my household in West Philly. And I don't know, do you think a teenager with no proper shower between 1984 and 1987 is walking around counting their blessings? Absolutely not. Instead, you're calculating excuses for why you don't want your friends to come over. You know, being thankful felt like a luxury reserved for kids whose, biggest problem is, what color car am I going to get for graduation? And here's the thing about time. Time doesn't just pass, it translates. Now, when I look back at those freezing mornings, I actually now feel grateful, but my teenage brain couldn't see it because my parents were investing in possibilities that they'd never personally benefit from. And, shout out to the parents here. Some of you parents here have made that same sacrifices for these graduates. Give yourself a shout out. So, my relationship with gratitude evolved with time, and nothing accelerates that like being in hip hop. Now, since 1991, and I've counted, we've lost over 200 rap legends, most of them before the age of 40. One day, cultural giant dropping a masterpiece one day, and the next day, you're eulogizing them in a funeral. And when that's your reality, gratitude isn't humble and polite. It's rebellion against despair. That's what gratitude winds up being. And it's making today matter when tomorrow isn't promised. That's why in hip hop we always talk about hustling. Tomorrow's never promised. So each morning, before emails, before texts, before checking your phone, before doom scrolling on the news or checking your social media, I try to name what I'm grateful for. And sometimes it's profound. I'm grateful for 30 years of making music with my best friend in high school. And sometimes, I don't know, I run out of options. Sometimes gratitude is the perfect bowl of Captain Crunch, peanut butter. So when the words won't even come to me, sometimes I just say, thank you, universe. Until something shifts, like a key turning in a lock I never knew existed. And it's important because without gratitude, we become entitled. We start thinking the world owes us. And yes, we should absolutely fight for what we deserve, especially for those from communities historically denied. But gratitude is what keeps you human, reminding us that even with our hustle and willpower, something bigger is at work. So number 1, gratitude. Number 2, breathing. You know that the feeling you feel right now, like the churning pit of your stomach feeling? I'm deflecting. The feeling I feel right now, that feeling, that sensation and I are very familiar with each other. Like we share a house together. And that fight or flight response would ambush me at the strangest times. Before speaking today, before walking on stage, before shows, in the middle of interviews, sitting at a red light when my body's like, the perfect time to panic. My mind would run an endless, continuous highlight reel What if I bomb the show? What if this album flops? What if? And part of this is the nature of my work, but you gotta understand, there is no tenure in hip hop. You know, today you're gonna sell out Radio City Music Hall, tomorrow your phone is dead silent. In the music business, you're reminded daily that you're only good as your last hit. And so, but this goes deeper than career. It's kind of my inheritance. So my father was a musician who didn't consider what I did a real job until maybe like my fourth album, when Things Fall Apart came out. And I put, of course, the keys to his house in his palm. Suddenly had a real job. And his constant advice was, the music stuff is cool, but you need a plan B. You need something to fall back on. We always have those adults in our lives, or at least my generation did. And I kind of thought that planning for failure, having a plan B, plan C, plan D, I thought that was smart. But what took me decades to learn is when we dress up our fears and we call that planning, but we're just bracing for slow disaster. That's not preparation. That's surrender before the battle. And then 2020 hit, and the world had to hit pause together. And suddenly, with all the distractions gone, I was alone with the noise in my head, and that noise was loud. And that's when I learned the simple practice. Inhale through your nose for 7 seconds, hold for 5, exhale for 5. Can we all do that? On the count of 3. 7 seconds in the nose. 3, 2, inhale. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale the mouth. I do that 20 times a morning, and that lifelong churning just melts. And when we panic, we hold our breath. I read a book once where it said that panic and excitement are the same thing. Panic and excitement are the same thing, except panic or fear is excitement without breathing. Fear is excitement without breathing. So we don't want to preserve that fear inside of ourselves and hold it like a Polaroid. So breathing disrupts that pattern. And your lungs can't distinguish between a panic attack or a standing ovation. So only your breath decides what story you're living. And whichever story your body believes becomes your reality. So, gratitude, breathing. Third practice, stretching. So I first saw the phrase, "your body keeps the score," as a book title. But now I think of it more or less as my life subtitle. And there was, after decades of emotional denial, my body once hit me with a bill that I couldn't dodge. And it was the day after we finished that fourth album, a moment that should have been celebration. And I woke up the next morning, the day after we finished that album, and I woke up and I barely recognized my swollen feet and ankles. And at random moments, since like 99, my body would just start leaking fluid from my ankles, from my feet. My body was protesting a childhood where emotion had consequences. When I was a kid, if you were happy, you were like showing off. Anger, that's disrespect. Crying, that's weakness, especially for boys. Like crying wasn't allowed. So basically, my body was weeping what my eyes weren't allowed to. And mind you, like my parents weren't cruel, they were protective. My parents were raised in Emmett Till's shadow. Emmett Till, the 14-year-old murdered for allegedly wolf whistling at a white woman down south, where visibility could mean death for black children. So we were all raised to stay small, don't ask questions, only speak when spoken to. And this trauma passed through me, through generations like an unwanted heirloom. And being a creature of habit, I added 30 more years to that legacy of silence. And now I understand what we don't process, we still carry. We still carry it, first in our hearts, then it's in our bodies. That's where disease comes from. So what we don't express, we will find a way to express through us anyway. And the solution isn't fancy. It's just 5 minutes of stretching each morning. That's it. That's all it takes to start reconnecting with what's been disconnected for decades. And believe me, I'm not telling you to touch your elbow with your ears or your toes. I'm just you're telling your body through movement that you're listening now. And after years of pushing and exhaustion and blaming you and breaking down, your body's like finally listening to you. So again, gratitude, breathing, stretching. Now the last practice was the hardest one for me. Number 4 is affirmations. So let me take you back. When you're a kid in the 1980s, Michael Jackson wasn't just famous. He was practically his own category of human existence. And I'd hear all the time about these mirrors in his house, plastered with Post-its. I'm the greatest dancer ever, the greatest entertainer alive. I'm gonna sell 200 million copies. I'm gonna change the world. So 12-year-old me used to file that under like weird stuff that geniuses do. But what I couldn't see then was when you're raised to stay invisible, saying your dreams aloud feels like trespassing on territory not meant for you. That unworthy feeling. And growing up in West Philly, ambition beyond your neighborhood, your block, was considered delusional or even dangerous. With the unspoken code, I thought that like dreamers were suckers. I was keeping it real. Smart people keep their heads down, stay small, stay humble. And what I learned from Michael was understanding naturally what took me 4 decades. Basically, transformation begins with how you talk to yourself. By flipping that question, going from am I, living in a perpetual state of am I, to I am. Am I good enough? Am I good enough? I am good enough. But when I first tried standing in front of that mirror, saying I am worthy or I am talented, I felt like a complete fraud. And I'm not talking about the beginning of my career. I'm talking like last year, way past the Oscar. Every day I wake up with that doubt. This morning I woke up with that doubt. I got up at 4 a.m. to do this, especially. So every affirmation felt like it was a lie I was telling to the mirror, and both of us knew better. But then something shifted. My self-hatred ran so deep that 3 minutes of self-kindness would bring unexpected tears. And it took 5 months before I could say those words without cracking up or breaking down, and a full year before I actually meant it. Every day in every way, I'm better, better, and better. Every day in every way, I am loved, I am chosen, I am blessed. And later I discovered I am was just the beginning level. Then I had to do like, I feel love, I feel blessed. It's not just thinking different, it's feeling different. And here's the truth, we routinely say things daily to ourselves that we would never allow anyone else to tell us. We say stuff to ourselves all the time we wouldn't tolerate from anyone else. So learning self-kindness was my deepest revolution, more significant than any award, Grammy or Oscar, whatever. Those came from others, but this was between me and the hardest audience, myself, and the only one that matters. And now I speak to myself with the compassion I would give to a friend. Not in that movie, come on, Thompson. No, but with a quiet dignity that knows its worth. And what happens when those 4 practices take root? Gratitude, breathing, stretching, affirmation. Everything changes. Now, I live from my gut. We say our heart, but really it's your gut instinct. You live from your gut instead of my calculator brain. I direct films despite never spent a day in film school. I give college graduation speeches despite having dropped out of college myself. But transformation isn't a straight line from broken to fix. It's more like a spiral staircase where sometimes you're standing directly above where you started, looking down at your old patterns. So when my Oscar dreams actually came true in 2022, I had nightly attacks, nightly panic attacks. I'd lie in bed praying, God, please make this stop. Derail this train before it reaches the station. Like, who does that? Who begs the universe to cancel what they've been manifesting all this time? Many of us do. Many of us self-sabotage. We gravitate towards familiar pain over unfamiliar joy. Like, we want what we know, not what we're not used to, even if it's good for us. And open roads terrify people who've mastered dodging traffic. So when those manifestation three-point shots that I've been practicing suddenly started to drop, when the documentaries or the films I wanted to do started winning awards, it scared me more than missing those shots ever did. So, success rewrites your contact sheet without asking permission. Old friends might not fit into your new life. And that fear, separation anxiety, losing your people, you might think you'll be labeled a sellout, can make you sabotage the very thing that you once begged for. And by 2023, I needed a reset. I had to recommit to those 4 practices with even greater devotion, because those tools aren't just for surviving struggle. They're the operating system for handling success without self-destructing. So, I'm here today with no band, no turntables, nothing to hide behind, just me and you right now. And I'm offering you 4 quiet revolutions that help me, and it might help you. So, wake with gratitude, breathe through fear, move what is frozen, speak kindness to yourself. I know it sounds light and too simple to be true, but because we crave that dramatic breakthrough or the overnight transformation, we want that miracle pill, the perfect leader to fix something, but the real change is not going to make the headlines. It happens real quiet in spaces between your social media posts. It's at 6 a.m. when no one's watching you, and choosing thank you instead of why me? And when you find yourself thinking, what am I doing here? I didn't train for this. Just know that's everyone's story. We are making it up as we go. And the difference is how you make it up. So, make it beautiful. Make it with gratitude. Make it with breath, with movement, with kindness, and especially kindness to yourself. I want to thank you, LMU, for helping me get through a major fear. I thank you, class of 2025. Congratulations to you all. Thank you.